Success is built on the foundation of consistency, discipline, and habit. Your future is determined by what you do today, not tomorrow. What if the secret to your success isn't a matter of luck, talent, or chance? What if it's about the simple, everyday actions you take? What if the key to reaching your goals is not found in one big breakthrough, but in the habits you choose to repeat day after day? Are you ready to realize that success is built on the small, consistent decisions you make every single day? Think about it. What do your current habits say about you? Are they pushing you toward your dreams or holding you back? Could you start today by changing just a few small habits to unlock a better version of yourself? Your habits determine your future. If you want to change your life, you need to change what you do daily. The good news, you have the power to start now. So if you're ready to take control, break free from the habits holding you back, and create the life you truly want, then completely commit to making those changes today. Now let's dive in. Number 1, change your routine and take back your life. Change your routine and take back your life. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, right now. Because if your days look the same, your results will look the same. People wait around, hoping life will give them a break. But life doesn't hand out progress. Life hands you a choice. Keep doing what you're doing, and keep getting what you're getting, or change what you're doing, and change everything about where you're heading. Every result you're living with right now started with something you kept doing, or kept avoiding. You don't get overweight overnight. You don't go broke overnight. You don't lose your edge overnight. You lose it by what you do every single day. 10 minutes wasted here. An hour distracted there. Skipping what matters. Choosing comfort. That's the truth. And you've got to face it. Your routine is either lifting you, or it's holding you down. You wake up late. You check your phone before you even open your eyes all the way. You drift through the day with no structure. You promise yourself you'll get to it later. Then the evening comes and you're tired, and you go back to wasting time. That's not living. That's drifting. And drifting never takes you anywhere. Good. A routine like that will steal your time, your focus, and eventually your self-respect. You want to take back your life? Then take back your mornings. That's where it begins. How you start the day sets the tone for everything else. You don't need to run 10 miles at 5 a.m. or meditate for an hour. You need to wake up on purpose. Get out of bed when you say you will. Take care of your body. Feed your mind with something that sharpens it. Move with intention. The world is noisy. You need to start your day before it gets loud. A strong morning doesn't just happen. You build it, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be built around what matters. What builds strength? What keeps your focus? What makes you feel proud of yourself? And when you repeat that morning again and again, you start to feel like you're actually in control. That's where confidence grows. From keeping promises to yourself. From sticking to your word when nobody's watching. Most people never build a routine because they let their feelings decide their day. If they feel tired, they sleep in. If they feel bored, they scroll. If they feel stressed, they escape. But when your habits are based on feelings, you're always in danger of falling back. Your life doesn't change when you feel ready. It changes when you decide to act regardless of how you feel. That's where the power is. You don't need motivation. You need structure. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about having a system that keeps you going even when you're not at your best. That system is your routine. It takes the pressure off your emotions. It takes the guesswork out of your days. You don't waste time deciding what to do next. You already know because you've already built it into your day. Start small. Pick 3 simple things to do every day that move your life forward. Write them down. Make them non-negotiable. Track them. If you miss one, reset and try again. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're trying to build momentum. And once you build it, you protect it. Because momentum is the most valuable thing you have when you're trying to rebuild your life. Change how you spend your evenings. That's where most people lose their progress. They start the day strong, but the evening comes and they fall back into old routines. Mindless eating, mindless scrolling, Procrastination. Sleep too late and you ruin the next day. You need to design your evenings like they matter. Because they do. A good night leads to a good morning. A good morning leads to a strong day. And a string of strong days can change everything. Take an honest look at your routine. Ask yourself one question. Is this helping me grow or is it keeping me stuck? Be real with yourself. If it's holding you back, change it. Replace it with something that makes you stronger. If you waste 2 hours a day, that's 60 hours a month. That's 700 hours a year. You could learn a new skill in that time. You could get fit. You could build something meaningful. But most people trade all that for temporary comfort. Nobody is going to show up and change your routine for you. Nobody is going to pull you out of bed. Nobody is going to do your work. You've got to be the one who takes your life seriously. If you're not willing to take control of your routine, you're not ready to take control of your life. You've got to earn your freedom through structure. Freedom isn't about doing whatever you want. It's about doing what's needed so you can live how you want. You've got one life. And every day you waste is a day you never get back. Time moves fast. Whether you use it or not. And you can't go back and fix the days you didn't use well. But you can stop wasting today. You can change what happens from this moment forward. You can build habits that support your goals instead of stealing from them. But only if you're willing to get uncomfortable. Only if you're willing to push yourself. Only if you're willing to take full responsibility. You'll be tempted to go back to old routines. That's normal. Change is hard. But it's not impossible. It gets easier every time you choose the new way. And eventually that new way becomes your normal. You stop fighting with yourself. You stop needing to convince yourself. You just do it. Because now it's who you are. Don't chase motivation. Build discipline. Don't wish for progress. Create it. Don't talk about what you're going to do. Prove it with action. A routine is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters consistently. It's about removing the noise and keeping the essentials. What you do daily is who you become. And who you become determines what you achieve. Change your routine and take back your life. Because if you don't, you'll keep repeating days that feel empty. You'll keep wondering why nothing is improving. You'll keep falling into the same traps. Don't wait for some external push. Don't wait until it gets worse. Decide that you've had enough. Decide that from now on your time matters. Your energy matters. Your future matters. And build a routine that proves it every single day. Number 2, break the habits that keep you feeling stuck. Break the habits that keep you feeling stuck. Because nothing will ever change until you do. When life feels heavy and your progress feels slow, it's not a mystery, it's a sign. A signal that your daily actions are quietly holding you in place. Not because you're broken, not because you're unlucky, but because you've repeated the same actions too many times without ever stopping to question them. Every day, people follow routines. They never chose. They just got used to them. And anything you repeat long enough will feel normal, even if it's damaging. That's how people stay stuck. Not because they don't want to grow, but because their habits are working against them. You've got to be honest with yourself. What are you doing every day that is making your life harder? Are you staying up too late and waking up tired? Are you filling your mind with distractions instead of useful information? Are you spending more time escaping than creating? These habits don't look harmful at first. They're quiet. They sneak in. They don't hurt right away. But they steal your future one day at a time. You can't keep saying you want a better life while repeating the same behaviors that ruined your energy, your focus, and your momentum. You have to decide that enough is enough. If something you do every day makes you feel weaker, makes you lose time, makes you lose confidence, it has to go, even if it gives you comfort. Even if it's what you've always done, because comfort is not progress. Familiar is not freedom, and your future depends on what you choose now. You don't need a perfect plan. You need to start with a clear decision. One by one, call out the habits that are not helping you. Stop explaining them. Stop defending them. Stop pretending they're harmless. If it drains your time, your purpose, or your strength, it's not small. It's not minor. It's holding you back. Most people never escape their own patterns because they're too scared to lose what feels safe. But safety is an illusion when it comes at the cost of growth. Start with one thing. One habit you know is making your days harder. It might be what you eat. It might be how much time you waste on your phone. It might be your lack of structure. It might be your inability to follow through. Be direct. Don't sugarcoat it. Changing it will feel uncomfortable, but not changing it will cost you everything. The longer you wait, the deeper it sets in. And the deeper it sets in, the harder it is to break. But it can be done, and you are not stuck permanently. You are stuck because of repeated behavior. Behavior you can stop. You'll need discipline. You'll need to feel discomfort. You'll need to face moments when your mind tells you to fall back. But discipline is not punishment. It's power. It's proof that you are stronger than your excuses. Every time you choose to break a habit that's hurting you, you teach your brain something important. You teach it that you can live by intention, not impulse. That you can choose your direction, not be controlled by your urges. Habits don't break in a single moment. They weaken every time you make a better choice. Every time you replace a harmful behavior with a useful one, you take your power back. You don't need to wait to feel ready. You don't need to be perfect. You need to interrupt the cycle. Every time you break the pattern, even once, you're weakening its grip. And the more you do that, the easier it becomes to move forward. People don't stay stuck because they're lazy. They stay stuck because their habits create a loop. A mental loop, a physical loop, a routine that repeats itself because it's been allowed to. And to break the loop, you've got to see it for what it is. That means watching your day closely, noticing where your time goes, noticing what you keep avoiding, noticing how you feel after certain behaviors. This is how awareness grows, and awareness is the beginning of change. You don't need to overhaul your life in one day. You just need to interrupt the behaviors that lead nowhere. That could be how you respond to stress. That could be the way you delay action when you're unsure. That could be who you spend your time with. It's not always obvious, but you know, deep down you always know what's keeping you stuck. And facing it will take strength. But pretending it's not there is far worse. You have to care about your future more than your comfort. You have to want the results more than you want the short-term relief. That means breaking free from behaviors that numb your potential. Habits that kill your drive. Habits that keep you mentally cloudy. Habits that give you nothing but take everything from you. Don't wait for rock bottom. Don't wait until it becomes a crisis. Change now because you respect yourself enough to demand more. You're not supposed to feel amazing every moment. You're supposed to feel responsible. You're supposed to feel like your life is being built on your own terms. And you can't feel that if your habits control you. If your impulses decide your day. You'll never feel proud if your actions don't match your goals. The moment your actions align with your vision, you begin to feel stronger. Not because life suddenly gets easier, but because you've decided to stop allowing the same patterns to ruin your momentum. Habits are hard to break because they've become emotional. You do them when you're bored, when you're anxious, when you're tired. But those moments are your test. That's when your decision matters most. Anyone can make the right choice when it's easy, but your progress comes from the hard choices. The small moments when nobody sees but everything changes. Every one of those moments is a step. A real step toward the person you said you wanted to be. There will be setbacks. There will be days when you fall short. But falling short is not failure. It's a moment. One moment. What matters is what you do after. Do you go back to the old pattern? Or do you stand up and fight again? Success is not about always getting it right. It's about never settling for what's holding you back. It's about refusing to let a single mistake turn into a habit again. Take control of your time. Take control of your environment. Take control of your thoughts. Build habits that make you better even when nobody's watching. Break the ones that break your confidence. Don't be casual about the way you live. Your future depends on what you do every day. It doesn't care how much you wish. It doesn't care how much you talk. It listens to your actions. and your habits speak loud. Right now is your chance. No matter how long you've repeated the same cycle, you can stop it. You are not your habits. You are not your past. You are what you decide to keep doing next. That's your power. That's your way forward. And it starts the moment you stop protecting the patterns that keep you small. When you break those habits, you create space for better ones, stronger ones. Habits that lift you instead of drain you. Habits that align with the life you've been dreaming of. Number 3, commit to daily actions that build your future. Your future does not wait for the perfect moment. It does not care how tired you are or how many things went wrong in the past. What it listens to is what you do every day. Not once in a while, not just when you feel motivated, but every single day when no one's watching. This is where real change begins. In the daily actions that look small but carry the weight of your future. If you want to become someone you can respect, you've got to earn that through consistency. Not words, not thoughts, actions, real actions that push you forward. Even if it's by an inch. People say they want more. They say they're ready to grow. But if you look at their days, you'll see the truth. Your days reveal your future. What you do in the quiet, early hours matters more than what you post online. What you choose when you're alone matters more than what you say in public. And the only way to build a future worth living is to show up for it daily. You don't need a big start. You need a real start. A start that includes discipline, responsibility, and follow-through. You must be willing to put in effort when no one is clapping. That's when your future gets built. It gets built when you wake up early to read. When you show up to work, even when you're tired. When you turn off distractions and focus. When you choose growth over comfort. The future does not belong to those who wait for motivation. It belongs to those who understand the power of daily effort. Every moment you give your best. Even when it's hard, you are shaping your character. And character is what builds the kind of future that lasts. Success doesn't come from one lucky break. It comes from steady effort. It comes from planning your day with purpose. If you don't plan, you drift. And when you drift, you lose control. Take your mornings seriously. Decide what needs to be done and make sure it gets done. If you want to lead a better life, you have to lead yourself first. That means taking control of your thoughts, your energy, your decisions, and your schedule. Ask yourself what kind of future you want. Then ask yourself what kind of actions match that future. You can't just wish for success and act like someone who gives up easily. You can't talk about your goals and then avoid the work. Every goal has a cost. You must be willing to pay it daily. And if your actions don't match your vision, the vision is just a lie you tell yourself to feel better. Get honest. What are you doing every day to deserve a better future? You need structure. You need goals written down. You need to track your progress. You need to wake up with intention and go to bed knowing you gave your best. You need to train your body, feed your mind, and focus your energy. This is how you build a better life. Not with one big change, but with thousands of small daily efforts stacked on top of each other. People fail not because they don't try hard once, but because they don't try long enough. They stop. They get distracted. They wait to feel ready. But readiness is created through action. Clarity is created through action. Confidence is built through action. Every day you show up, even when it's hard, you earn a piece of the future you want. There will be days when nothing goes right. You'll feel like giving in. You'll doubt yourself. But even on those days, you have to act. You don't have to be perfect. You have to be committed. Show up, do the work, and don't break the chain. One skipped day leads to two. Two skipped days become a week. A week becomes a habit. And bad habits build a future too. A future full of regret. You don't want that. You know you don't. You want a future you can be proud of. Then act like it. Act now. Act every day. What do your mornings look like? What do your evenings look like? What are you doing with your free time? Every piece of your day is a brick. You're either building or you're destroying. There's no middle ground. You either act in favor of your goals or against them. Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for anyone to push you. You've got to push yourself. Build systems that keep you on track. Set clear times for your work. Remove distractions before they steal your time. Put your phone away when you need to focus. Write your goals where you can see them. Make it harder to fail and easier to succeed. The more structure you add, the more freedom you gain. Because discipline protects your time, and your time is all you have to shape the life you want. Stop talking about what you're going to do. Start doing it. Every single day you act with discipline, you grow stronger. You don't have to take massive leaps. You need to move forward one strong step at a time. You don't have to match someone else's pace. You need to keep your own promises. Do what you said you'd do, even when it's boring. That's how you become dependable. That's how you build trust with yourself. And that's how you gain momentum. Don't let emotions decide your effort. Your emotions will come and go. Your habits must remain. You're not always going to feel ready, but the action must happen anyway. Over time, your mind will adjust. Your body will adjust. You'll get stronger, more focused, more resilient, because you chose to act even when it wasn't easy. Track your effort. Count your progress. Notice your wins. But don't get too comfortable. Keep going. Keep raising the bar. Don't aim to be average. Aim to be excellent in your own way. You don't have to compete with others. You have to compete with your old self. Be better than who you were yesterday. Just a little. That's how real change sticks. Use your days wisely. Time is not unlimited. Each hour gone is gone forever. You don't get a refund. Make your time matter. Make your actions count. Keep showing up, even when nobody notices. Because someone does notice. You do. And you know the truth. You know when you're putting in real effort. You know when you're holding back. Be the person who keeps moving forward anyway. If you're serious about your future, then prove it. With your discipline, with your energy, with your consistency. Don't ask for a better life. Build one, piece by piece, hour by hour, step by step. Keep showing up, even when it's tough. That's what separates the few who make it from the many who don't. It's not luck. It's not timing. It's daily action, and you're in control of that. Every single day. Number 4. Wake up early and start with full intention. The way you begin your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you open your eyes and start with purpose, you are already ahead of most people. Waking up early isn't just about having more hours. It's about taking control before the world gets loud. It's your time to decide who you want to be and what you are going to do. When you wake up early, you create a space to lead yourself instead of following whatever distractions show up. It's the start that gives your actions direction. If you wake up late, rushing, reacting, and distracted, then the day will slip away from you without asking. You've already surrendered your power. But if you wake up before the noise, before the pressure, and before the demands, then you own the moment. And if you own the moment, you can shape your life. Intentional living begins when you choose not to drift. And the very first decision you make is whether you start your day on your terms or on someone else's. Start with a clear mind. Start with a plan. Stand up with strength and decide how the day will go before anything pulls you off track. That one decision to wake up early changes everything. It's not just a habit, it's a commitment to yourself. It's a message that says you take your time seriously. You take your growth seriously. You take your life seriously. Success is not built in a rush. It's built with steady and repeated action that starts with structure. If your morning is strong, your day has a chance to be strong. If your day is strong, your week has a chance to move forward. But it all begins with the decision to stop sleeping through your potential. You can't live fully if you keep pressing snooze. You can't lead yourself if the first thing you do is avoid responsibility. Waking up early forces you to make a choice. It forces you to be different. It forces you to take ownership. Start by getting up before the distractions even begin. While the world sleeps, you prepare. While others are reacting, you are creating. You think, you read, you plan, you train your body, you set your intentions. There's no rush, there's no noise. It's quiet enough for you to hear your thoughts. And those early hours become a secret advantage. Not because you do everything perfectly, but because you show up with consistency. You show up with a reason. You show up with drive. People ask for change, but they stay in bed. They want progress, but they start their day half asleep. That gap between what you want and what you do is where regret lives. And regret is heavy. Heavier than effort. But effort doesn't hurt when you know why you're doing it. If you want more from life, you have to give more to your mornings. Make them count. Fill them with purpose. Design them with care. Your energy in the morning is raw. Use it wisely. Feed your mind before the world feeds it nonsense. Move your body before stress gets a chance to weigh it down. Write down your goals while your thoughts are still clear. And look yourself in the mirror. Not just to get ready, but to remind yourself who you're becoming. This time is not just for preparation. It's for transformation. Every early morning is proof that you're not like the rest. You're not average. You're serious. There's nothing glamorous about waking up when it's still dark. There's no applause. There's no comfort. But there is growth. There is power. There is clarity. And those are the things you need most. You don't need more noise. You need focus. You don't need more sleep. You need direction. Sleep is easy. Discipline is hard. But discipline builds a life. Sleep just keeps you in place. Make a morning routine that reflects your goals, not someone else's. Yours. What does your future self need from you today? What habits lead to the life you say you want? Build your morning around that. Start small if you have to, but be consistent. Even 20 minutes of intention is more powerful than hours of drifting. Set a time. Stick to it. Build trust with yourself. That trust turns into belief. That belief turns into strength. And that strength carries into everything you do. There's a reason most people stay stuck. They don't want to face the silence. They don't want to sit alone with their thoughts. But that silence is where the truth lives. That silence is where growth begins. Face it. Get comfortable with it. Then use it. Use the early hours to become more of who you're meant to be. Not by accident. Not by force. But by choice. It's not about being perfect. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days you'll fall behind. But that doesn't mean you stop. You don't throw away a good habit because one morning was off. You return to it. You keep showing up. That consistency builds discipline. That discipline gives you power over your time. And when you control your time, you control your life. People admire those who seem put together. But it's not magic. It's not luck. It's not a gift. It's daily work. It's the decision to get up before excuses kick in. It's the decision to prepare instead of panic. It's the decision to lead instead of follow. And that decision can be made every morning. You don't need anyone's permission. You need your own commitment. Build a morning that reflects who you want to become. Don't waste your first hour scrolling. Don't start your day in a fog. Wake up with purpose. Move with clarity. Focus on what matters. If you can win the morning, you can handle the day. It won't be easy, but ease has never created anything worthwhile. This is your chance to get ahead. Not just of others, but of the old version of you. Keep it simple, but be serious. Wake up. Get up. Start strong. Review your priorities. Move your body. Read something that sharpens your thinking. Write down what needs to be done. Then act. Start before you feel ready. Start before you feel confident. Start before doubt has time to talk you out of it. The more you practice this, the stronger your mornings become. The stronger your mornings become, the more power you have throughout your day. You don't need a perfect routine. You need a real one. One that fits your goals. One that holds you accountable. One that reminds you each morning that you are responsible for your results. You are responsible for the kind of life you build. That responsibility begins the moment you wake up. Wake up early. Show up early. Be present early. That's how leaders are made. That's how lives are changed. One morning at a time. One strong beginning at a time. One powerful decision at a time. Number 5. Train your mind to follow strong daily habits. If your mind is undisciplined, your life will follow the same path. Training the mind is not about controlling every thought. It's about deciding which ones matter and building the habits that support them. Most people drift because they never take charge of what they think day after day. They react instead of respond. They wait instead of act. If you want to rise, you must take your mind seriously. You must feed it what builds you instead of what weakens you. You don't need to feel motivated to act, but you do need to act with discipline. That discipline starts with your mind. Every day, your thoughts create the direction of your life. You either shape your mind through repeated positive habits, or you allow it to fall into patterns that drain your strength. When you wake up, what you choose to think and do in the first hour sets a tone for the next 23. You have to condition yourself to think about growth, to focus on what helps, to remove what distracts. If your mind is cloudy, your actions will be scattered. If your thoughts are sharp, your steps will be clear. Daily habits don't just form automatically. They are trained, they are built, and your mind must be brought into that process. You can't just force a schedule and hope your mind follows. You must lead it. You must show it the purpose behind the habit. You have to teach it to stay focused when you feel tired. You have to teach it to push forward when comfort wants to pull you back. A trained mind doesn't wait for things to feel easy. It gets stronger when things are hard. It remembers why you started. It doesn't ask for less weight. It becomes stronger under the weight. Start small if you must, but stay consistent. Repetition creates identity. Every time you follow through on a habit, you are showing your mind what matters. You are teaching yourself that discipline wins, that commitment wins, that results come from showing up whether you feel like it or not. You can't train a mind that keeps getting distracted by short-term pleasure. You must choose long-term gain. Your mind will try to fight you in the beginning. It will tell you to delay. It will look for shortcuts. But you're not training for comfort. You're training for control. The moment you take your habits seriously, everything begins to shift. You stop wasting time. You stop negotiating with excuses. You stop blaming outside factors for the way your life looks. You take the wheel. You decide the course. Your mind begins to adjust to the pace you've set. If you build structure, your mind finds security in it. If you stick to that structure, it becomes automatic. You don't rely on mood. You rely on your training. Feed your mind with discipline. Give it the fuel that matches your goals. That means cutting out distractions. That means ignoring the voice that wants comfort and choosing the voice that wants strength. That means setting up your day in a way that supports clarity. Don't check your phone the moment you open your eyes. Don't fill your mind with noise before you've filled it with purpose. Use the first part of your day to build focus. That's when your mind is the most fresh. Train it early and it carries that power into everything else you do. A trained mind becomes a habit machine. It doesn't ask, should I do this? It knows what to do. It doesn't argue about routines. It executes. But you only get there through repetition, through quiet, solid, honest discipline. If you skip today, your mind remembers. If you show up today, it remembers that too. The habit isn't just in the action. It's in the memory your brain keeps of who you were when no one was watching. You don't need 20 habits. You need a few strong ones done every single day. The ones that sharpen your thinking. The ones that strengthen your discipline. The ones that keep you on track when life gets loud. If you train your mind to commit to those, you'll always have a foundation. Even on bad days, you'll know how to return to what works. The mind grows stronger through effort, through stillness, through repetition. Don't flood it with nonsense. Don't overload it with tasks. Be intentional. Every time you choose a strong habit, you choose a stronger mind. If you want to feel more confident, build a habit that gives you wins. If you want to feel more grounded, build a habit that brings you stillness. If you want to feel more focused, build a habit that clears distractions. Your habits shape your mind, and your mind shapes your life. Most people wait for the perfect plan. But real growth starts with simple, consistent action. Pick a habit. Set a time. Repeat it. Don't negotiate with yourself when the time comes. Act. Keep showing up. Even when it feels slow. Even when progress is hard to measure. The habit you follow is building something even when the result is not visible. That's where most give up. They don't see the outcome fast enough. But training the mind takes patience. It's not about fast results. It's about permanent ones. Focus your energy on what helps you grow. Review your habits every few weeks. Remove what isn't helping. Reinforce what is. Stay honest about what you're doing. If a habit is weak, strengthen it. If a habit is broken, fix it. But never stop working on the foundation. Because when things fall apart, your habits are what hold you together. A trained mind doesn't panic. It returns to what it knows. It returns to the structure it built. You will be tempted to go back to comfort. You will feel the pull of old routines. Your mind will tell you that skipping one day doesn't matter. But it does. Every time you say no to discipline, you weaken it. Every time you say yes, you reinforce it. There's no neutral ground. You're either building or breaking, strengthening or slipping. That's why habits matter. That's why a trained mind is your most valuable asset. You must be intentional about what you repeat. Repetition becomes memory. Memory becomes identity. And identity shapes your future. If you want to change your future, you have to start with how your mind operates every day. That starts with strong daily habits. They don't have to be big, but they have to be real. They have to be yours. And they have to be done, even when it's hard. That's what separates those who succeed from those who wish. Training your mind is not a one-time choice. It's a daily discipline. It's a decision you make when you wake up. It's a decision you make when you feel tired. It's a decision you make when no one is pushing you. A strong mind doesn't need to be reminded every time. It learns to remind itself. That's what daily habits create. A mind that is self-directed, self-motivated, self-controlled. That's the mind that gets things done. That's the mind that wins. That's the mind that makes success a daily process. Number 6. Push through resistance and show up each day. Every single day you wake up, you face a choice. You can give in to the part of you that wants comfort, or you can push through that heavy feeling and do what needs to be done. Resistance shows up in many ways. It might sound like doubt. It might feel like fatigue. It might show itself as hesitation, but it always carries the same message. Not today. That message is the enemy of growth. If you listen to it, you lose momentum. You lose trust in yourself. And every time you back down from it, you make it stronger. But here's what most people miss. Resistance is not a sign to stop. It's a signal that you're doing something that matters. It's proof that you're moving beyond your old limits. When things get hard, when the excuses get loud, that's when you have to lean in. That's when you have to decide that how you feel doesn't run your life. Your values do. Your goals do. Your future does. You don't show up only when it's easy. You show up because it's necessary. You push through because the other side of resistance is strength. You won't always feel like doing it. That's the truth. Your mood will change. Your energy will dip. Life will throw curveballs. But if you only act when it's convenient, you'll live a life built on delays. You'll wait for the right moment that never comes. But if you decide to show up anyway, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, you train your body and your mind to work together. You teach yourself that you can count on you. And when you start to believe that, nothing can shake you. Each time you choose to act in the face of resistance, you build mental muscle. You build toughness. You learn to handle stress. You stop letting fear hold the pen. The difference between those who build a strong life and those who stay stuck is simple. One group moves despite resistance. The other lets resistance make the decision for them. One side rises, the other settles. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's consistency in the face of discomfort. That's the true mark of strength. Showing up doesn't mean being perfect. It means being present. It means you do what you said you'd do. Not because you feel like it, but because you gave your word. The people who succeed don't always feel inspired. They just don't negotiate with themselves. They've built the habit of action. They've trained their nervous system to move instead of freeze. They know that the cost of not showing up is far greater than the effort of pushing through. You might think that one skip day doesn't matter, but it does. Because you're not just skipping the task, you're reinforcing the habit of quitting. Every action is a vote for the kind of person you want to be. Show up when it's raining, show up when you're tired, show up when no one's watching. That's when real discipline is built. That's when you learn what you're made of. And the more you do it, the less power resistance has over you. Some days the resistance will feel like a wall. You'll wake up and your body will feel heavy. Your thoughts will be full of reasons why today is not the day. That's your test. That's when you take a deep breath and move anyway. You don't need to climb the whole mountain. Just take one step, one rep, one sentence, one choice. Action breaks resistance faster than anything else. The moment you move, the weight begins to shift. The fog starts to clear, and suddenly you're in motion. Discipline is not about forcing yourself every minute. It's about showing up long enough that your actions become part of who you are. It's about choosing structure over impulse. You don't wait until you feel ready. You decide that being ready comes after doing the work. If you let your mood lead, your life will drift. If you let your vision lead, your life will rise. That's what showing up means. You keep your word when it's hard. You stay on track when the noise gets loud. You will have people around you who don't understand this. They'll call it extreme. They'll tell you to relax, to skip, to let it go for now. But they're not building your life. You are. You're the one who has to live with the results. And nothing feels worse than knowing you gave up on something just because it was hard. You owe it to yourself to push back. You owe it to your future to resist the urge to quit. And that starts with today. Not tomorrow, not when it's easier. Today there is no growth without resistance. You don't become better by repeating what's comfortable. You evolve when you stretch yourself. That stretch comes from pressure, from effort, from standing tall when your knees want to buckle. That's where your real strength lives. In the choice to keep going when most would stop. In the quiet decision to hold the line when everything says retreat. You don't have to move fast. You don't have to be loud. You just have to stay honest. Show up even when you're not sure how it will go. Show up even when yesterday didn't go well. Show up when it feels pointless. That's how you build a mindset that doesn't crack. That's how you create trust with yourself. That's how you rise above the noise of doubt. There will be mornings where you want to stay in bed. Evenings where you want to say just this once. But remember this, ease is a lie. Comfort sells you short. Nothing worth having comes without effort. If you want a strong mind, a strong body, a strong life, you must earn it one decision at a time. Resistance will knock every day. You decide whether it gets to stay or not. The good news is this, the more you push through, the lighter it becomes. What used to feel impossible becomes routine. What once drained you now fuels you. You get stronger not because life gets easier, but because you grow more resilient. You build habits that don't rely on motivation. You create systems that carry you through the low moments. If you stay on this path, you'll reach a point where showing up is no longer a battle. It becomes automatic. But to get there, you must first fight. You must earn it through repetition, through effort, through that quiet decision every morning to rise, to face the resistance, and to move forward anyway. That's how change happens. That's how success is built. Not all at once, but day by day. In the moments when you could have quit but didn't. Number 7. Eliminate lazy choices and take full control. Lazy choices are the silent killers of progress. They might seem harmless, just small decisions that appear insignificant in the moment, but they add up. They compound over time, and before you know it, you've wasted years of potential. We've all been there. Choosing comfort over action, putting off tasks, or taking the easy route. But here's the truth. You need to face every lazy choice you make. Erodes your future. There's nothing wrong with rest or relaxation. In fact, it's necessary for recovery. But there's a big difference between rest and laziness. Rest recharges you to do more. Laziness drains your energy and steals your future. When you choose to avoid hard work or responsibility because it's easier to just not do it, you give up control of your life. You allow circumstances to dictate what you do. Instead of taking charge of your own actions, every day you face decisions. Some of those choices are easy, like whether to have a cup of coffee or take a walk. Some are harder, like whether to get to work on your goals or sit back and binge watch TV. The easy choices are tempting, but they don't move you forward. The hard choices are the ones that lead to growth, success, and change. When you make lazy choices, you are trading your dreams for temporary satisfaction. That's the price of comfort, and it's steep. Taking full control means recognizing the difference between what's good for you and what feels good in the moment. You need to learn how to identify lazy choices and eliminate them from your life. The first step is to stop justifying them. Don't tell yourself it's okay to take shortcuts because everyone else is. Don't allow your mind to convince you that you deserve a break when you haven't earned it. Success isn't about what you deserve. It's about what you're willing to work for. The real problem with lazy choices is that they don't just affect today, they build a pattern. Once you give in once, it becomes easier the next time, and the time after that. Before long, it's a habit, and habits shape your identity. The longer you let laziness rule your decisions, the more it becomes who you are. You don't want to be the person who's constantly looking for shortcuts, procrastinating, or avoiding what needs to be done. You want to be someone who takes charge, who doesn't shy away from challenges, who embraces discipline even when it's hard. There's a sense of pride that comes with taking control of your life. You don't have to wait for motivation to show up. You don't need external validation to get started. You don't need someone else's approval. All you need is your commitment to eliminate lazy choices. The more you take control, the less you will need to rely on external forces to get you moving. The confidence that comes from making the right choices will drive you. It will push you to be more disciplined, more focused, and more committed than ever before. But control doesn't mean perfection. It means consistency. You won't always make the right choice every time, and that's okay. But you need to be aware of the pattern. When you make a lazy choice, acknowledge it. Don't let it slide by without thinking about the long-term consequences. If you let the little things go, they pile up and create a future you didn't want. On the other hand, when you make the right choice, even when it's hard, you move closer to your goals. You create the future you want, one small action at a time. Control also means taking responsibility. Stop blaming your circumstances for your lack of progress. It's not the economy, the weather, or the people around you that are holding you back. It's the decisions you're making, the lazy choices you're letting slip by every single day. Success isn't an accident, it's a product of intentional actions. And if you want to take full control of your life, you need to start making decisions that align with your values and goals, not your comfort zone. In order to take full control, you have to get ruthless with your choices. There are no excuses. You can't afford to waste time. Your future is too important. Don't let distractions take over your day. Don't allow yourself to become a prisoner of your own laziness. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," you push your goals further away. Every time you choose comfort, you lose momentum. And that momentum is the key to building success. Start by eliminating the small lazy choices, the ones that seem innocent at first, like putting off an important task or hitting snooze one more time. Then move on to the bigger ones, the ones that force you to confront your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities. It's those bigger choices that define your success. They determine whether you build the life you want or settle for something less. Taking control is also about eliminating distractions. You can't afford to waste time on things that don't move you forward. The internet, social media, and endless distractions are designed to take your attention away from what matters. Take control by setting clear boundaries. Limit the time you spend on things that don't contribute to your goals. Instead, focus on actions that will lead you to your desired outcome. It's easy to blame outside forces for your lack of success, but the truth is that you are the one in control. The choices you make today determine your future. If you want a different outcome, you have to make different choices. Every time you eliminate a lazy choice, you take another step toward mastering your life. It's not about making grand gestures. It's about making consistent small decisions that add up over time. Every small decision that aligns with your goals moves you closer to them. Taking control also means understanding that you are responsible for your actions. You can't control everything, but you can control how you respond to situations. If you find yourself slipping into lazy patterns, acknowledge it and refocus. Don't let one mistake derail your entire day, week, or month. Just get back on track. Every time you catch yourself making a lazy choice, you are learning how to take control. When you eliminate lazy choices and take full control, you start living with purpose. Your days are no longer wasted. Your time becomes your most valuable asset. You stop allowing distractions to steer you off course. And most importantly, you start seeing progress. Every small victory adds up, and the momentum builds. You become the person who doesn't wait for things to happen. You make them happen. That's when your life changes. That's when your future becomes something you're excited about, something you're in control of. Number 8. Follow a structure that keeps you on track. You know as well as I do that life has a way of throwing you off course. No matter how motivated you feel at the start of the day, distractions can sneak in, and before you know it, you've wasted time, missed opportunities, and pushed your goals further out of reach. It's easy to let life's chaos take over if you don't have a plan. The difference between those who achieve success and those who struggle is the ability to follow a structure that keeps you focused, on track, and moving forward. A solid structure is not something that you build once and forget about. It's a daily commitment. It's a system that you put into place, and you follow it relentlessly. It's the foundation upon which your daily actions are built. Without it, your life will drift like a ship with no captain. But with it, you gain clarity, purpose, and direction. The first step in creating a structure that keeps you on track is understanding what matters most. You can't do everything, so it's essential to focus your energy on the things that will move you forward. When you wake up each day, ask yourself, what are the most important things I need to accomplish today to move closer to my goals? Make those your priority. Everything else, every distraction must fall into the background. Creating structure begins with discipline. If you want to follow a structure, you need the discipline to stick to it, even when it's hard. It's easy to get excited and start working towards your goals, but the real test is how you handle the inevitable obstacles that arise. There will be days when you don't feel like following your structure. There will be days when it feels like everything is going wrong, but those are the moments that define you. Your ability to follow the structure, even when it's tough, is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. It's easy to get distracted by the noise around you, but when you've committed to a structure, that noise fades away, and you're able to focus on what truly matters. One of the key elements of any structure is consistency. Consistency is the key to success. It's not about making huge leaps all at once. It's about taking small, deliberate actions each and every day. Think about it. If you did something small every day, over time it would compound. But if you jump in and out of action working hard for a week, then letting things slide for a week, you're never going to get anywhere. Consistency keeps you grounded and ensures that you make progress, even when you can't see the results immediately. Every day matters. Even the smallest action, when repeated consistently, has an impact. Now, structure is also about setting boundaries. When you have a clear structure in place, you know exactly when it's time to work and when it's time to rest. Without boundaries, your time is scattered, and you'll end up working inefficiently. If you spend all day jumping from task to task without a plan, you'll waste more time than you'll ever realize. But with a well-thought-out structure, you know exactly when to start, when to stop, and what you're working on during each period. Structure allows you to eliminate decision fatigue. You don't need to constantly decide what to do next, because it's already planned out for you. This frees up your mind for more important decisions, such as how to solve problems and improve yourself. Start by setting clear goals. What do you want to accomplish this week, this month, and this year? Once you've defined your goals, break them down into manageable steps. The smaller tasks you complete will lead to the larger achievements. Having a structure is like having a roadmap. If you don't know where you're going, it's easy to get lost. But when you have a clear structure, you know exactly where you're headed, and you can follow the path with confidence. And don't forget to create time for self-reflection. A structure should not be rigid. It should evolve as you do. Reflecting on your progress at the end of each day, each week, and each month will allow you to make adjustments. Sometimes you'll find that certain aspects of your structure aren't working, and that's okay. A good structure is adaptable. It's about finding what works best for you, not what works for someone else. Don't be afraid to change your structure as you grow. What worked for you last year may not work for you now, and that's a sign of progress. It means you're growing, learning, and adapting. When you commit to a structure, you start to build momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in achieving success. Once you start following your structure consistently, you'll begin to see results, and that creates motivation. The more you see yourself making progress, the more you'll want to keep going. You'll get to a point where your structure becomes second nature. It's no longer a struggle to stick to it. It's just who you are, and it's how you operate. It becomes part of your identity. But here's the thing, you won't always feel motivated. Some days you're going to wake up, and you're going to feel like doing anything but sticking to your structure. And that's okay. The secret is not waiting for motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. What you need is discipline. When you follow a structure, you don't need to feel motivated every day. The structure itself will guide you. It becomes your safety net, your way of ensuring you stay on track, even when motivation is low. Another aspect of following a structure is learning how to eliminate distractions. When you don't have a structure, distractions have free rein. They slip into every part of your day. But when you follow a structure, you learn to recognize distractions for what they are: time thieves. You can easily identify when something is pulling you away from your goals. Whether it's social media, a conversation, or even just an unimportant task, you learn to say no to distractions. Your structure helps you stay focused. And remember, structure doesn't mean being busy all the time. It means being intentional with your time. Being productive is about working on the right things, not just doing things for the sake of being busy. When you're following a structure, you are working with purpose. Every single day, you're not wasting time. You're investing it in yourself, your future, and your success. Building a structure takes time and effort. It requires discipline and commitment, but the results are worth it. When you follow a structure, you don't just get things done. You create a life that aligns with your values and your goals. You move closer to the life you want every single day. And that's what success is all about. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every day, following your plan, and trusting the process. Number 9. Hold yourself accountable for every small action. You are the one responsible for everything that happens in your life. This is where true success begins. Taking ownership of your actions, your choices, and the results. Every day you are making decisions. Some big, some small. And it's those small decisions, those tiny actions, that add up over time. And if you don't hold yourself accountable for them, you will never get to where you want to be. Success is built on a foundation of accountability. It's about knowing that you are the one who shapes your future through the things you choose to do and the habits you decide to build. Accountability starts with self-awareness. It means understanding that the only person who can stop you or move you forward is yourself. No one else. You have to stop making excuses for why things aren't working and start taking responsibility for what you do or don't do. It's easy to blame others, to say circumstances aren't right, to point to external factors and say, if only I had more time, or if only I had more resources. But the truth is, that's not the way successful people think. Successful people understand that the small actions, those seemingly insignificant moments throughout the day, are what determine the trajectory of their lives. Every time you make a choice, you are making a statement about who you are and what you are capable of. Are you the person who takes action even when it's uncomfortable, or are you the person who lets distractions, laziness, or fear of failure hold you back? Accountability means owning up to the fact that it's your responsibility to get things done, regardless of how difficult they may seem. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your outcomes. It's easy to let a day slip by and tell yourself you'll catch up tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes unless you make it come. It's the small choices, the decisions to act, to push through resistance, to keep going when you want to quit, that build your success. When you hold yourself accountable for every action, no matter how small, you begin to see results. You begin to realize that your actions matter, that every effort counts, and that your future is being shaped by what you do today. Think about it. Every time you choose to procrastinate, you are telling yourself that your goals don't matter enough to act. Every time you skip a task, every time you delay something that you know needs to be done, you are allowing the small things to pile up and weigh you down. If you don't take responsibility for these small actions, they will pile up into big problems. But when you start holding yourself accountable for everything, even the tiniest tasks, you will start to feel a sense of control over your life. You will begin to trust yourself more because you know you can count on yourself to follow through. Accountability is also about tracking your progress. It's easy to lose sight of your goals when you're not keeping track of your progress. And when you aren't tracking your progress, it's easy to let things slide. But when you hold yourself accountable, you're constantly reviewing what you've done, where you are, and where you're headed. This self-awareness keeps you grounded. It keeps you honest with yourself. You begin to see where you've fallen short, but more importantly, you see where you've made progress. You begin to celebrate even the small wins because you know that they are part of the bigger picture. It's easy to feel discouraged when you aren't seeing the big results. But when you track your progress, you realize that you're making strides. Every small step, every single effort is moving you forward. Now, accountability isn't just about keeping track of what you're doing. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about facing the facts, even when the truth hurts. Sometimes it's hard to admit that you're not doing everything you said you would. But if you want to improve, you have to be willing to look at yourself honestly and recognize where you've fallen short. When you hold yourself accountable, you don't make excuses. You don't let yourself off the hook. You take ownership of your actions, and you make the necessary adjustments to get back on track. This is where growth happens. This is where you start to see the results you want. But here's the thing. Accountability isn't about beating yourself up when you fall short. It's about recognizing that you're human, that you will make mistakes, but that you can learn from them. Accountability is about seeing the big picture, understanding that failure isn't permanent. When you hold yourself accountable, you don't let one slip-up stop you. You don't let a bad day derail your entire progress. You simply pick yourself up, learn from the experience, and move forward. Every action, every mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow. You have to build a system of accountability that works for you. This might mean setting daily goals and reviewing them at the end of each day. It might mean keeping a journal where you track your actions and reflect on how you spent your time. It might mean sharing your goals with someone you trust so they can help keep you accountable. Whatever system you choose, the key is consistency. You have to stay on top of your actions. You have to stay vigilant because if you don't, it's easy to slip into bad habits. And those bad habits will pile up, just like the small actions you ignored. But when you're constantly checking in with yourself, you're more likely to stay on track. Accountability also means setting boundaries. You can't hold yourself accountable if you're constantly allowing distractions and interruptions to take you off course. Set clear boundaries around your time and energy. Let people know when you are working and when you are not available. Protect your time. Hold yourself accountable for respecting those boundaries. Your time is your most valuable asset. Don't waste it. Protect it fiercely. When you take responsibility for how you spend your time, you take control of your future. Every time you hold yourself accountable, you are reinforcing your commitment to your goals. You are telling yourself that you care about your future. You are telling yourself that you will not settle for mediocrity. You are telling yourself that you are the one in charge. And that is the most empowering thing you can do. You have the power to create your future, but only if you hold yourself accountable for every action, no matter how small. Success is built on this foundation. The small, consistent actions you take every single day add up, and when you take responsibility for them, you take control of your destiny. Number 10. Repeat positive habits until they shape your identity. Your identity is formed by the choices you make every day, the habits you choose to repeat, and the actions you take consistently over time shape who you are and what you become. It's not about one grand act, one big leap forward. Success, growth, and change come from small actions repeated over time. The more you repeat those positive habits, the more they begin to shape you, not just as a person, but as the kind of person you're striving to be. Every habit you repeat, every action you take adds up. It becomes a part of who you are. It becomes ingrained in your identity. If you want to become successful, you must cultivate the right habits and repeat them consistently. It's not enough to try something once and expect results. You must be willing to show up day after day and keep doing the right things. The key to shaping your identity lies in repetition. The more you repeat positive habits, the more they become second nature. They become a part of your daily routine, and over time, they become a part of you. The habits you repeat consistently begin to define you. They are what you become. Think about the person you want to be. What kind of habits would that person have? What would their daily routine look like? Would they be the type of person who gets up early, exercises, reads, and makes their goals a priority? Or would they be the kind of person who procrastinates, makes excuses, and avoids discomfort? The difference between those two people lies in their habits. It's the small daily actions that determine who you are becoming. If you want to change, you must start by changing your habits, and you must repeat those habits until they become second nature. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline is the ability to stick with the habits that will move you forward, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what keeps you showing up, day after day, even when the results aren't immediate. It's easy to start something new, but it's the discipline to keep going that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. You must repeat the habits that are aligned with your goals until they are embedded in your identity. It's the repeated effort, day in and day out, that creates the transformation you're looking for. The power of repetition is not just in the action itself, but in what it does to your mindset. Every time you repeat a positive habit, you are reinforcing the belief that you are the kind of person who takes action, who moves toward their goals, and who is committed to growth. Every time you show up and do the work, you are proving to yourself that you are capable, that you are disciplined, and that you are worthy of success. The more you repeat these habits, the more you believe in yourself and in your ability to succeed. This belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you repeat positive habits, the more they shape your identity as a successful, disciplined, and focused person. But it's not just about going through the motions. It's about being intentional with every habit you repeat. It's about being fully engaged in the process and understanding why you're doing it. When you repeat positive habits with intention, they become more than just tasks on your to-do list. They become part of your purpose, part of your vision for your life. Every time you take action, you are reinforcing the person you want to become. It's not about doing things just to check them off. It's about doing things because they align with your values, your goals, and your vision for the future. As you repeat these habits, you will begin to see the changes. They may be small at first, but they will add up. Every small win, every bit of progress, will reinforce the belief that your habits are shaping your identity. Over time, you will start to see that you are becoming the person you've always wanted to be. It won't happen overnight, but as you continue to repeat positive habits, the transformation will be undeniable. The more you commit to these habits, the more they will shape your identity. There will be moments when it feels difficult. There will be days when you don't want to show up, when the temptation to fall back into old habits is strong. But it's in those moments that your true growth happens. It's in those moments that you must push through and keep repeating the habits that are going to change your life. Remember, success doesn't come from doing something once or twice. It comes from the relentless, repeated actions that build your character and move you toward your goals. Every time you repeat a positive habit, you are reinforcing the mindset and behaviors of someone who is committed to success. It's important to remember that you won't be perfect. There will be days when you slip up, when you don't do everything you said you would. That's okay. Don't let one mistake stop you from continuing the process. The key is to get back on track as quickly as possible and keep repeating the habits that are moving you forward. Perfection isn't the goal, consistency is. The more consistent you are with repeating the right habits, the more they will shape your identity and move you closer to your goals. You must be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen without effort. But if you are willing to stay committed and repeat those positive habits every day, you will see the results. Over time, your habits will shape your identity, and your identity will shape your future. It's a process, and it takes time. But the more you invest in yourself, the more you will become the person you've always wanted to be. Success is not a one-time event. It's the result of the habits you repeat every day. Your identity is shaped by the habits you choose to repeat. Choose those habits wisely, commit to them, repeat them until they become who you are. And when they do, you will have built the foundation for lasting success.